So today I'm going to be making Thailand's most wholesome noodle dish. It's Pad See Ewe. It's a great dish that can be eaten at any time, from breakfast to when you're drunk at 2 in the morning and any meal in between. I reckon it's pretty much the noodle answer to fried rice. It's like a comforting and delicious hug on a plate. And because it's Thai food, you can adjust the flavours at the end with a few simple condiments, and you can easily turn that hug into a punch if you're into that kind of thing. And it's so simple. I mean, if you include yourself, there's only 11 ingredients in the main dish. How hard can that be? Rightio, let's go. First up, protein. I'm going to use chicken as my protein for this. I prefer it to pork, but you can use what you like. You know, pork neck, shiitake mushrooms, camel's hump. You can even use plywood if you want. Anyway, I'm just cutting up a whole chicken purely because I have one. It's easy to do and good to know that your meat just comes off one animal, you know. I just want the thighs off this one, but now I have bones for stock, breasts for Calmangaia Parmigiana, and wings for, I don't know, flying. Anyway, need about this much. Good, moving on. These are wide rice noodles. They come from a Chinese style similar to hor fun called kway teow, the same as char kway teow in Malaysian food. In Thai, these kway teow are called zenyai, which means big strip or line. They're cheap and easy to find at any Asian supermarket. They're actually easy-ish to make if you can't get them or you just want to make them. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. Paylin's video from Hot Thai Kitchen is perfect if you want to give it a go. Should be a link above if you want to take a look. Anyway, if they're nice and fresh, they'll be easy to pull apart. And if they've gone a bit hard from being refrigerated, just microwave them until they become slightly pliable, but not hot. And then you simply just separate them and chuck them in a bowl. There you go. Next. Chinese broccoli, otherwise known as gailan or kana in Thai. Just chop it up. I like to angle my knife like this and push forwards and across. Get the thin stems if you can find them. This is as much a stem dish as it is a leaf dish. The stuff that we get sold is often left to mature too long and it becomes too leafy and a bit bitter. Anyway, and just stop when you think you've got about 2 handfuls. That's it. Garlic. You'll need about half a regular bulb for 2 people. Simplest way to get the garlic out of its skin is to do it the way you like to do it. I like to give it a whack with my knife or the pestle, shake it out of the skins. Throw the little fellas into your pestle and add a pinch of salt. Pound them for about 30 seconds or so until you've got a strangely satisfying garlic paste. Have you ever noticed that a lot of sauces are sauce made from sauces? Well, this one's no exception, but it's just 2 soy sauces. It's 2 tablespoons or 30 ml of light soy sauce, followed by about a half to 1 teaspoon of dark soy. Go easy on this. A little too much and your noodles will be black and taste of nothing but the dark soy, which is good for char kway teow, but we're not making that. Throw in a couple of teaspoons of sugar and give it a vigorous stir. Taste it to see if it tastes good. And now it's time to make fire go. I'm going to cook in real time today so you can get an idea of how long this actually takes. Spoiler alert, it's 10 minutes, and I suppose there's no spoiler to say that the noodles win in the end, so feel free to scrub through if you don't have the time. And for those of you still viewing, let's go. So we've kicked off with about a teaspoon of oil in a hot wok, and just getting ready to make it rain noodles. There we go. The reason there's so little oil in the wok is that the noodles are already oiled, and we've got 2 more additions of oil that we need to put in. And what we do now is we just let the noodles sit for a bit. As long as your wok's nice and well seasoned, the noodles shouldn't stick. And what we're trying to do is to develop a little bit of a crust on the face of the noodles. Yeah, about that should do it. Let's stir them up a little bit, really gently. We don't want to chop them. We just want to kind of tease them apart and give them a flip so that the other side starts to get some char on it as well. Yeah, that's good. If you've never heard of wok, or you've heard of it and don't know what it is, this is it. It's getting a bit of smoky char on the food that's in the wok to add an extra layer of flavour. And just flip the noodles when it feels right, break them apart again, be really gentle. If you've got a well-seasoned wok, they shouldn't really stick. And once more, the more sides of the noodle that get touched by the hot surface of the wok, the more char you're going to get and the better it's going to taste. I'm pretty much done here, I reckon. Yep. Looks good to me. Look at that smoke coming off. It's very pretty. Alright. One more toss. Look at that. That's bloody beautiful. Rightio. Chuck that in a bowl. Yes. Next step, we'll be on to frying our garlic. Again, well-seasoned wok, things shouldn't stick. You just give it a little wipe out with a bit of paper towel and move on to the next step. Now I'm regulating the heat now. I'm dropping it down a little bit because I'm going to put in the garlic. There's no oil in the wok, so it's starting to smoke, but that's of little concern. Okay, that's of concern now. Mate, your wok's too hot. Turn it down. Oh, okay, rightio. About half a tablespoon of oil in there and just chuck in your garlic. Really, really briefly give it a fry. If you've made a paste like me, it'll just take moments. And then we just want to get that chicken into the pan. And what the chicken's going to do is it's going to bring the temperature down. It's going to stop the garlic from burning. It's basically going to give the wok something else to cook. That's it. We're just going to stir and fry. Well, we're not really going to stir and fry. We're sort of going to poke and toss, which is what stir frying sort of really is. There's not, I don't know, there's not that much stirring in it, I don't think. Anyway, contentious. Here we go. Bit of a toss. I'm trying to get about a half or 2/3 of a cook on this chicken before I move on to the next ingredient. The chicken's going to keep cooking as we add more ingredients, so you don't want to fully cook it, but you don't want to have it undercooked because it'll be a bit bouncy and rubbery in the finished dish. It's a bit of a balancing act between trying to get some colour and therefore flavour in the chicken and not overcooking it. Almost ready for the next step, so crank that heat for a second and give it a final toss and a stir, and then we'll be moving on to the next ingredient. My poor wok, it's so dinged up from doing that. It's just a habit. That's how I sort of clean off the spatula, just by giving it a whack in the bottom of the wok, but it's so full of dents. So now it's egg time. I'll push the chicken to the side and grab the last little bit of oil that's going to go in, probably another half tablespoon. Make a little pool of oil in the bottom. And I'm just going to crack both eggs into that pool of oil and do nothing. And the reason for this laziness is because you want the bottom of the eggs to cook a little bit, so that when you go to break them up, they're not an uncooked mess that just sticks to the bottom of the wok. Yeah, that's it. Like, stuck, not stuck. And now we want to do the eggs so they're cooked, not cooked. So as soon as they sort of, yeah, that's it. Just get it all mixed in there, and we're going to slow down the cooking of the eggs the same way we slow down the cooking of the chicken. That's to introduce another cold element. There we go. Now, just like with chicken, just like with the egg, you want to turn the heat up a little bit and start tossing and getting those greens all mixed in nice and evenly. The object here is that you want everything that's green to meet the bottom of the wok that's very hot at least once, so it wilts just nicely. There you go, a little bit of a toss. It's getting more fun now with more weight in the wok, and the tossing tends to get more theatrical and therefore more on the floor. So we're just about there now. It's noodle time. The noodles have already been cooked once, so there's not really much to do. You're just basically introducing everybody to each other. It smells pretty good right now. There's only one element left to go, and that's going to sort of tie everything together. Oh yeah, mixed drinks. Notice that I distributed the drinks around the outside of the party. The reason for this, and I'll keep on saying it, is you never pour your liquids into the middle of the wok if there's stuff in there that's going to absorb liquid. If you pour it around the outside, you give the liquid a chance to A, heat up, B, caramelise, and C, you don't turn the middle of the wok into an over-flavoured wet mess while the outside remains dry and tasteless. Sermon over. Oh yeah, that's looking really good. We're right on the home stretch now. There's one thing left to do, and that's to have a taste, just to see if all the flavours are balanced. We're looking for really savoury, sort of meaty flavour with a hint of underlying sweetness. So there might be some tweaks, a little bit of sauce for me, and I think maybe just a sprinkle of sugar. There we go. And the final thing that goes in the noodles when we're done is the white pepper. I use Thai pre-ground white pepper. You feel free to use whatever pepper you like. I'm just conditioned. Rightio. We are done. Get it out of the wok and pile it onto a plate. There's not a lot that needs to be done fancy here. It's a big, ugly, delicious mess. Oh my god. Oh man, that looks delicious. Oh, I hope you're as hungry as I am right now. Cheers everyone. Thanks for watching. And these things might be after the credits, but they're not an afterthought. That's white vinegar, which is the real MVP of the condiments. Vinegar and Pad See Ewe are, oh my god. And some dry roasted chili. Some sugar. Slice up a fresh chili into small rings. Pop it in your vinegar and go and eat your noodles.